All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back producing you another video today. And just like we talked about in that previous tips video, talking about multiple time frame analysis, we said in the next video, we would probably just scroll through all the charts. I got a list of like 20 pairs, 25 pairs that we're just going to scroll through really quick, draw out zones, maybe give a quick analysis. This video will probably be on a 20-minute video, So anyways, let's get this thing going. And if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about right now, well, go watch that last tips video. It was an extremely good video. I will probably put it at the end of the show notes, and maybe I'll throw it into the description or throw it in the comment section. All right? All right, let's get this thing going. Euro USD, we are on the 5-minute. We do not want to be on the 5-minute. Let's check out the daily. And where am I interested in doing business right now? We talked about it in the private group. I said this is right now where I want to be doing business. And as for demand, I'd be interested in looking for buys down here and sells up here. Now for scalping, I might try and catch a couple scalps maybe up in here. Maybe in this area, if we can get a nice little rally, that's an area where I will look for scalping opportunities. Besides that, I don't want to be buying at all until we're at least down in this area. And even this area is nothing great, so definitely would want to wait for confirmation on at least the 1 hour down there. All right, so that's that. The Euro USD has been off my radar for the past like 3 days, 4 days. It really hasn't been doing anything. I haven't been looking at it for the past like week. Pound USD, like we talked about in the pound a lot of you guys might have seen that. What was that? The futures chart that I posted of the pound. It's basically the same analysis for everything. Let's just check out the pound. We see prices inside weekly supply. Hey, let's do this. Let's go to my Twitter. It was a really good picture. This will just describe everything. You can pause the video if you want. So in the pound, we have prices inside monthly supply. We have monthly demand, not till down here. So definitely I'm bearish the pound until either 1, supply is removed, or 2, price comes down and hits monthly demand. That's basically big picture analysis, right? So we created that demand by removing that supply zone. We're sitting right now at a very nice monthly supply zone. So definitely trying to find selling opportunities. If we pop over to the weekly side for a minute, let's check out here. We have this beautiful weekly rally-based drop supply zone inside the monthly supply zone. That goes back to that multiple time frame analysis video that we just talked about. So definitely an area where I would like to be selling that pound. We did we did create a rally-based rally demand zone cutting the weekly profit margin, so it might be a little difficult for prices to break this weekly demand, but nonetheless, with prices still up in this area, I'm looking for selling opportunities. I might try to pick up some longs maybe down in here. If prices can free fall, I might try to pick up maybe some income trades in there, but definitely not anything super long term as for now. Really want to be looking for buys down there. Okay, let's go back. Pound, where are we? Pound USD. So it's basically the exact same analysis as what I just told you on that pound futures. Aussie USD, let's check out the weekly time frame. Nothing too great on the weekly. As for the daily time frame, this is where I think we'll start seeing opportunities possibly, or we have found opportunities. We talked about this this daily drop-based drop supply zone, and we have daily drop-based rally demand zone down here. So definitely would want to be looking for buys here, some sells up here. I know some of the people caught this short. I know a lot of you guys were talking about this. It was that. So that was the supply zone. There was another one here right above it. I'd kind of draw it out like that. Some people caught that short. Some people caught this one. I didn't catch any of them. So there you go. Some of the group members did. So I think their final target was hit today. So good job with that. As for now, let's worry about the now opportunity. It's always good to look back and do a review of what happened, because I think that's how you build your confidence, because you see the same setup happening and working again and again and again. So that's how you're going to build that confidence over the long term. Daily supply, daily demand down here. 4 hour. I don't see anything interesting in here. No. Oh, there was an opportunity. I know Somebody in the group posted this sell opportunity, and it was a nice little selling opportunity, this supply zone. It was a great supply zone. The reason why I didn't want to take it was because if we looked at this range, prices were kind of going like this, down, up, down, down, oops, down, up, down, and we're kind of like doing this up and down, right, in this range. So I didn't want to be selling this supply zone in the middle of the range. It would have been nice if I had this supply zone like up here, then I'd be all over it. But just due to that location, I just wasn't comfortable taking it, I guess you could say. That's okay. You know, stick to the rules, follow the plan, trade the plan, right? Follow the process, process over outcome. And that's what we try to do here. So I know some people caught that. That was a nice little setup. Let's keep going. Euro New Zealand. I don't like this daily supply. I know some people were talking about, hey, what do you think about this? I like this one a lot. I don't like it. Does that mean it could work? Does that mean it couldn't work? No, it does not mean it couldn't work. It could work. Definitely could work. Even the best zones fail, and even the worst zones can work. But this is not something that I would feel comfortable placing a trade at. Why? Just the imbalance. It was kind of like a 50% candle. The wicks, it's really wicky. It's just nothing that I personally would like to be trading at. You know, compare it to something like up here where we started the whole movement down. We have a strong leg out. Not much basing was here, not very wicky. So this is definitely an area that I like a lot better than that. Even we have a nice little drop base drop here, drop base drop there. If you guys can't see that well, then I'll go like this. And you guys might be thinking, man, you draw these zones so quick. How do you spot them so fast? And you know what? After 5 years of trading supply and demand, you see these things instantly. I don't see other patterns or what other people are trading first. I see supply and demand first. And that's that. So right now I'm off. You might find some scalps. Nothing too great right now. Let's keep going. USD yen. Let's try to stick to the daily time frames. USD yen right now, we've been sitting inside this daily demand zone. So just been trying to catch some longs. I know there was a couple longs in here. We did manage to catch one. So price is still down in that low. Definitely would want to be looking for buying opportunities. USD Swiss, this is an interesting one because we've been in this range, you guys know, for a long time. We have supply up there. Sellers are clearly taking control anytime prices come up in this range up high. And buyers are taking control down when we're this low, right? We have basically the exact same thing that formed that was up here. We created like a little rally-based rally daily demand zone, and we never like to see that being formed up high into a supply zone. So we basically just created the exact same thing but reversed. We created a drop-based drop down here in demand. So not the best thing. It's not ideal. It's not something we want to see. We don't want to see opposing zones being created down in opposing zone, I guess you could say. So we don't want supply zones being formed inside let me repeat that. We don't want those higher time frame zones being formed in that same time frame, higher time frame zone. I hope that makes sense. So let's just say you have a weekly supply. It's kind of like that pound USD, right? Or the pound futures market we were just talking about. We're coming up into monthly and weekly supply, and then we just created a weekly demand zone. So it's not ideal, right? So, but you might catch a small opportunity here for, swing trades, but it would be nice if we could take that out, that demand zone. So it's nice right here. It's kind of cutting the profit margin right now. So you may catch some scalps up into here, but before I really want to try to hold a swing trade at least, I would want to see this removed. Let's talk about USDcad. Daily supply up there. And right now we've kind of already tested it. Let's worry about, I'd say, this demand down there. Okay, let's see. Yeah, as for scalps, I don't see anything too great. I might try to find some buying opportunities down in there. That's where I would look for buys for scalps. I don't like this. Why? Because it didn't remove any demand zones or break trend lines, so that's why I wouldn't want to trade there. USD Singapore. Nothing really. We're sitting in, not a big fan of that daily demand. The reason I would be looking for buying opportunities is simply because we're sitting inside that weekly demand. That's really the only reason. And I was eyeing this. I might be going pretty fast, sorry guys, but we're on crunch time right now. I was eyeing this little drop-based rally 4-hour demand, but now that I see prices starting to base out here, it's profit margins being cut, so I'm probably going to cut that. Gold, just been going sideways. You guys know we've been talking about this one for a while. Daily supply there and daily demand down here. So those two demand and supply zones are basically holding price. We're kind of in that range right now. Would rather be a seller up here. Okay. Yeah. Silver, basically going to be the same thing. Got that demand area all right here being tested, holding price. We have that supply there. Okay. Let's see if there's anything. Nah, I was going to say, let's see if there's an opportunity, but there's no great level in here yet. US oil. Okay. Okay. I think this was an example that I was trying to. I'm not sure if I posted this on Twitter. I know in the group we did talk about it, but we were talking about price action and theory behind supply and demand here and understanding order flow. Because if we look right here, based on my analysis, we would consider this an uptrend. We're creating higher highs, we're removing supply zones, we create demand zones, and we're respecting demand zones. That's basically the definition of an uptrend. We had this supply zone right here. Prices came up into it. We are looking for selling opportunities. I believe some people got some sells. Any sells would be counter trend. Prices came down, reacted back down off of that 4-hour demand that we talked about right here. Prices reacted off the 4-hour demand. If we could think about it, if we're in a daily uptrend, prices are reacting off of daily demand, coming back up into a tested daily supply zone, you would think we would remove it, right? Or we would at least go a lot deeper into it. So if we would assume there was 1,000 orders here, maybe 500 orders got billed here, and maybe there's just not enough 500 sell orders here again. Maybe there's like 1,000 buy orders still coming up into it. So clearly prices have to go up to find the next stack of sellers to hold price. So we eventually broke that. Would I want to be selling in this in a counter trend market for the second time? Me personally, no. If it was fresh, yes. Dow Jones. You really don't need to look at too much of the stock market because they basically all look the exact same. We had that daily supply and there was some opportunities. We were watching it on the S&P 500. Price was coming up into that daily supply we talked about. Broke trend line, removed demand. We were looking for sells here. We were watching this on the 5-minute time frame. There was a couple opportunities. There was one here. That was your first opportunity to get short. I didn't want to take this pullback or this short because I really wanted to see this demand zone being removed. I kind of saw this as, I see this a lot, is I want to see this demand zone getting removed. And we came down into it and touched it, but man, I really wish it removed it. Then there was this opportunity. See, we eventually did remove it by this candle, this supply zone. So then I was looking to sell here. And when was this? The 9th. So that was yesterday. So this was right before the close of the market. And I didn't want to initiate a day trade and get hit with spreads and fees. So I didn't want to take the trade just going into like the last, I think, like 30 minutes of the market. So I didn't want to take that. But then if you didn't take that one, there was this opportunity. There's just like opportunity after opportunity given to you here. So that was another opportunity. When was this one? That was today at 7:25. Yes. I was trading this on, this is the SPX we do. Yes. Now my chart looks different. It's something else that I was looking at, and I didn't like the layout of it. So I didn't trade it because my chart looked completely different and I didn't want to trade it based on my chart. I wanted to trade it based on this chart. So kind of missed out on that one today, but that's okay. Before I get short again, I would want to see this demand zone being removed, new lows created. But then it would be nice if this supply zone is still inside that daily supply zone. So there was lots of opportunities. There's 1, 2, 3. And really that one that fit my rules was this one. All valid setups too, all valid. I guess this one was a bit aggressive because I wanted to see this demand zone being removed, but we did remove demand zones up here, but I really wanted to see this one getting removed. We didn't get that. Then there was the opportunity here, like we just discussed, where we did eventually remove it, but I didn't want to take the trade going like 30 minutes. I didn't want to take, like a scalping trade, trading the S&P, the stock market at all, with 30 minutes left in the day. So not something I took. That was okay. That's a rule that I have. I won't initiate any trades in the stock market or futures market unless it's like open during that time, or like really close to the end of the day. That's just a rule. Usually if I take one of those trades, it's going to be within the first 2 hours of the day generally. And that goes for the London too. Right now it's the Japanese markets are opening soon. So it's kind of like all the markets are dead right now. You wouldn't see me going around to the US to the London market right now and executing trades, just because I would want that liquidity coming in because that's when they're trading. Let's keep going. Where are we? Everything's basically the same. Let's check out Bitcoin. Bitcoin, 1 hour time frame. These are still the demand zones that I'm watching on the 1 hour, kind of that down there. And this is the 4 hour drop base rally demand zone. If we were for the kicks and giggles going to play this on the, say, the 1 minute chart, I don't like any of that. Where's the next stack of sellers? If there was, no, I don't want to do that. I don't like anything. I wouldn't do it. No 1 minute analysis this time. US dollar, we talked about it coming down into that drop base rally demand zone. Definitely trying to find those buying opportunities. Let's check out the euro. Euro, nothing special on the daily time frame. I don't see anything. Wouldn't want to be trading at that supply zone again, so I like this 4 hour supply zone. I think that's a good area for scalps, personally, I think. Let's check out the pound. The pound we've already been talking about for a while, so let's skip it. Japanese futures, we have that Japanese currency sitting inside that supply. We've been trying to catch shorts with it. That was a couple days ago. We did manage to catch that USD Japanese long, where we are buying the US dollar and selling the Japanese yen. That was nice. Australian, the exact same as the AUD USD. We have that demand down here. We have that supply up there. New Zealand, we don't like it. See, it's like literally we're going over the majors again. I personally don't like it. Let's just keep going. The Swiss, the exact same thing that we just talked about, creating demand zones up in where supply is. Canadian, this is where it might be different. Canadian, got some buyers down in here. I think just overall we're seeing buying stepping in down here. So right now we're kind of going sideways, just been stalling out. We do have the Fed rates coming in tomorrow. Definitely be careful with that. Maybe some opportunities might show up. So I know I'll be trading the Euro session for Wednesday. Euro pound. We are sitting inside that weekly demand tested. I believe it's monthly demand too. Monthly demand tested, weekly demand tested. Still, we're at an area where I'd want to be buying. Why? The pound's in supply. This right now, euro pound is in demand. We see that strong move up. I know somebody messaged me saying they jumped in long, and they keep asking me why aren't you long yet? Why aren't you long yet? Patience. Just have patience. Just because prices go up, skyrocket up for 4 hours, 8 hours doesn't mean that you always got to jump in, right? You're taking a counter trend market here, so I want to be careful with that. So we've only really seen a strong leg up. Ideally, I want to see this demand getting removed. That would be really nice. I think obviously you're going to have some buying stepping in down here because we broke downward momentum. As for now, let's see. I might find a small, decent. There's a lot of things that I would need for this to happen for me to actually take long. It'd be really nice if we could actually remove this supply zone. That's that 4-hour supply we just talked about. So it'd be nice if we could remove that. It'd be nice if we could get a straight arrival, meaning price comes straight into it. And also if we could line up the futures market. And there's a lot of things that are really aggressive about this trade setup, I think, right now. And that is being the time spent here is like a shit ton of candles. Prices didn't do anything for basically 24 hours. It went sideways for 24 hours. So if there really was an imbalance, don't you think prices never would have gone sideways for 24 hours? So that's my thought process behind it. So it could be a setup, but I'd be really aggressive and the smallest risk I would take. I don't know. I might keep an eye on it. It's not my first choice. Euro New Zealand. This was an area of supply that I was actually trying to sell at today. We had price come up into daily supply. As for daily demand, I would look for buys down there. So definitely want to be looking for sells right now. Sells, prices were coming up into daily, 4-hour supply too. And then there was this 5-minute zone that I was watching. It was this one right here. That was the supply I was trying to catch. I pulled the order once we started getting this basing here. I thought, hey, we're starting to base for a couple candles. If this leg out, it's not giving me a good risk reward. So I pulled my trade. And that's exactly where prices rallied up from anyway. So that's good. Euro Aussie. I don't see anything on the daily time frame. This is all ugly. 4-hour. Ugly. Wouldn't want to force anything. Yeah, I wouldn't want to force anything. That was one of the questions that somebody asked me on Instagram today. He has a hard time skipping ideas or going. If he doesn't see one, he kind of keeps looking at them, and he doesn't like to just skip over charts without finding opportunities. And I never had that problem. I always just kind of add more charts if you don't find opportunities. That's why we trade multiple charts. We don't just trade like 3 or 5, because one of the disadvantages of only trading 5 charts, 6 charts is you're limited to the opportunities. And if you're like day trading or swing trading, if you're swing trading really and you're only trading like 6 charts, it might be a while before you get a good quality trading opportunity. And for you to sit on your hands for like a month, potentially a couple of weeks, is tough. It's very tough to do that. So that's why maybe if you're swing trading, you add more opportunities and more charts. Day trading, you could do it with 5. You're going to have to be picky. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities, but you can do it. But you're really just managing your emotions, really, and you're trying to find quality setups. Anyways, pound yen. I hope I'm recording. Oh, thank gosh I'm recording, guys. I didn't see my red light on, so that's why. I don't see we remove supply. This is the pound yen. We have that daily demand now right here, kind of in that uptrend. Well, we are in an uptrend. I don't see any opportunities right now. I would wait. Don't like it. Let's check out the weekly time frame now. New Zealand yen, got that weekly supply up there. Daily, I don't see anything daily. I really want to be a seller up in here. We have daily supply, weekly supply up in there. Looks like we got some daily demand right there. But that's it. If we go to the 4-hour, we're probably just going to see prices going sideways. And that's exactly what we do. Aussie yen, I don't see anything. Skip it. Ugly. And why am I saying that? Just don't see anything. Just nothing's great. There's no quality supply here. There's no strong imbalance. There's no removal. There's no good demand zones. Prices have already been reacting off of this supply zone. Demand is not there. So those are the two zones that are actually trading price. But I don't see anything right in there. Let's go to Euro Yen. Euro Yen, ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. I don't see anything great. Maybe on the smaller time frames, yes, but from here on, from October 17th to December like 11th, this is just crap on the daily time frame. As for the weekly time frame, we're coming up into that weekly, and this is also monthly supply too, I know. So we've been trying to find selling opportunities here. So that one worked out pretty well, actually. We actually talked about this zone. We were actually going to capitalize on this zone too. We said we identified this because it was prices were sitting inside monthly, weekly supply. Prices rallied up and based out here. So that's when we pulled the, or I pulled the order. I think somebody kept their order. They didn't mind the arrival and they went out pretty well on this. That just missed me by a couple pips too, like 2 pips. Would have been nice, but oh well, it happens. There's opportunities every day. CAD yen coming down into that daily demand zone. It's not the best knowing given that price action, prices have just been going sitting here, but nonetheless, if we're looking strictly at supply and demand, we have daily demand in that daily uptrend, and we were looking at, I think, this one down here, and then we're trying to see if we can catch that pullback down there. So that's also what we're watching. But that's that. I think that's everything. Let's just stop the video right here. Thanks very much, guys. And if there's any other questions, analysis that you guys want, message me. You guys know what to do. And I'm going to guess this video 20 minutes and 51 seconds. All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.